we got to show you this valedictorian here in Texas. I think she is in the DFW area.
Yes, she is.
Isn't she?
Yes, she is, Mr. Gray.
Graduating from high school and had quite a speech to the kids.
Paxton Smith is her name.
Here she is talking
Recently,
about something near and
the
dear
Heartbeat
to
Bill
her
was passed
heart.
in Texas. Starting in September, there will be a ban on abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy, regardless of whether the pregnancy was a result of rape or incest. 6 weeks. That's all women get. And so before they realize, most of them don't
Pause it for a
realize
sec.
that they're pregnant by.
Can you imagine only having 6 weeks to murder your child?
I can't.
Can you imagine it?
I can't.
What kind of state are we living in, Jeffy? I can't. They only have 6 weeks to extinguish the life. Jeez, over the weekend, while I was sick, stumbled onto a video. It was some abortion doctor, former abortion doctor, who walked you through the steps and what happens and just how grisly and despicable the abortion process is. What they do to this child in the womb is unthinkable. I can't believe it's legal. They tear their body apart.
Right. I mean, it's unthinkable because
every time
when you admit that it's a human being, it's unthinkable.
Yeah. And so to only have 6 weeks to do that is wow.
It's unthinkable in and of itself.
Jeez. All right, let's see what else she had to say.
That's all women get. And so before they realize, most of them don't realize that they're pregnant by 6 weeks. So before they have a chance to decide if they are emotionally, physically, and financially stable enough to carry out a full-term pregnancy, before they have the chance to decide if they can take on the responsibility of bringing another human being into the world.
Pause it for a second.
That decision.
They didn't have that chance? Leading up to you know how a baby is made, right? Okay, that's where you make that decision. Leading up to that point. And if you've decided that you're not able or ready, maybe you don't have unprotected sex. It's just a thought. You know, I don't want to put too much of a burden on the people who are actually responsible here.
Whatever, Mr. Puritan. Whatever. Okay?
This is unbelievable. All right, let's hear the rest of her babblings.
That decision is made for them by a stranger. A decision that will affect the rest of their lives is made by a stranger.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yeah, no, not really, though. Because so pause it for a second, because let's get back to the whole thing leading up to.
Yes.
So that decision was made by someone who's not a stranger to you, because it's you. Anyway, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I have dreams and hopes and ambitions. Every girl graduating today does. And we have spent our entire lives working towards our future. And without our input and without our consent, our control over that future has been stripped away from us.
That's not true. No. To all of that garbage. No. Great how deeply she's delved into this particular issue, though. Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And she was also heralded over the weekend.
Courageous. I'm sure she was called courageous.
I mean,
brave.
From the tweet from Hillary Clinton.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Talked about this took guts.
Did it?
Thank you for not staying silent, Paxton. Ugh.
That took guts. No, you know what would take guts is to stand there and tell people not to kill their children in their womb. That would take guts.
Yes, and she also talked about in the one interview how she lied. Right, she turned in the wrong speech, a different speech, and then decided, you know what, I'm going to do this speech. And so, you know what, okay, whatever. I mean, do I think that she should be that speech should be banned? No, because they had one school in Michigan, right, where the valedictorian, the principal was saying, maybe you want to take that Jesus stuff out.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those. Yeah, countrywide.
No, I don't want that either.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, but she also talked about, so she lied, and there was also talking about, I watched that, well, as you watch that, I was trying to see if she was looking off to the side. At least the part that we had, she was not. And she said in the interview that while she was speaking, she noticed a woman on the side of the stage aggressively signaling for her microphone to be cut off. But it wasn't. So, okay. So we're supposed to believe that, this was so brave and people wanted to cut you off, but they didn't. So
there's that.
There is that.
Wow, the brainwashing that's done to these children.
I mean, that's coming out of high school now.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's incredible.
Holy cow. And then, I mean, she's right. They only have 6 weeks to decide.
Yeah, you couldn't decide beforehand, right? You couldn't make that decision. If you're not ready for the responsibility of a child, maybe you don't commit the act that creates children. That's a wild proposition.
Didn't she also talk about what if her doesn't work, the protection doesn't work, right? She was upset about the rape and incest, and she was also upset about what if the protection doesn't work. So she's, if you're sexually active, which I'm sure she is. Yeah, I'm terrified that if my contraceptives fail, I'm terrified that if I'm raped, then my hopes and aspirations and dreams and efforts for the future will no longer matter.
I love that they use rape, this tiny, I mean, what a tiny little percentage of people in that position. And they make it the front, the sort of the head of the spear as they attack the other side with this.
And while your life changes with children, no question, is it over?
No.
Is it over?
No.
Is it over because you got pregnant and you're going to have a kid?
Some people have dealt with it. Some people have actually dealt with
Really?
that. Yeah.
I mean,
it's possible
I don't
to
know
do.
how. I don't know how, Pat.
I know. It seems like it's impossible. It seems like your life would be over.
Done. You can't work. You can't go about you can't be out in public.
You couldn't put the baby up for adoption. Nobody wants children, right? Except for the 3 million people in line to get one. Don't worry about them. I don't think they really exist.
No, my life is over. My hopes and dreams and aspirations are done. You stop having dreams when you have a kid.
It is absolutely amazing, the one-sidedness that exists on that subject with the young people. Wow. I mean, I don't know that she's ever even heard the other side of this issue. It doesn't sound like it.